Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the webinar. Today, we're going to go around the horn with the individual corner, trending topics in the individual market. You know the drill, a little housekeeping. If you have a question throughout the presentation, put them in the chat box. We'll try to get them during the presentation, but due to the nature of the presentation, we're going to be going back and forth with a lot of stuff. We'll probably get to them at the end of the presentation, but we'll take care of all your questions. Here's my information. Take a moment, jot down my phone number, my email. There's my fax. Want to point out, faxing not so great these days because half the time we're working at home. So ideally, you could email it to me, whatever it is. So by all means, reach out to us if you have any questions. And my counterpart, who's also on the line today, Eric Pouncy Jr., who serves in the same role as I do. There's his phone number, his email address. If you have an issue, you can reach out to him as well. Say hi, Eric.
Hey, Geoff.
So additional questions concerning licensing. Sandy Weber is the guru for that. There's her phone number, her email address. If you're not appointed with our major 7 carriers on the ACA and short-term side, reach out to her and we'll get you started. Choice Fine can answer your commission questions. And again, there's my information. I can help you with all processes, quoting, customer service, marketing strategy, and the like. Let's talk about succession planning. Cornerstone's succession planning program helps you arrange a strategy to provide your beneficiaries with income along with peace of mind in the event of your unexpected death or disability. And this includes drafting communications to your current client base in the event of your death or disability, preparing your business and beneficiaries with a financial plan, conducting annual reviews to audit your succession plan, and make any necessary changes. We'll walk you through each step of the process to ensure your business and your legacy are covered. Learn more on our website. Cornerstone's incentive program will be back in 2021 with all new prizes. Qualifiers have a chance to win up to $5,000 and a travel voucher for a weekend getaway to destination of your choice. And the brokers qualify by earning points for new to Cornerstone group and individual medical and ancillary sales, a minimum of 2,000 points to be eligible for a cash reward and a chance to win the bonus weekend getaway. The top 20 qualifiers earn cash. Brokers must register online in order to participate. There's our website there for that. All this stuff can be found on our home page, the www.crnstone.com. And the earning period is from January 1st of 2020 through December 31st of 2020. So we're more than halfway through it. Today's public service announcement is provided by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Attention, 2021 FFM training is live. So your 2021 Obamacare recertification is live. What's more, the new broker certification is available too. This just rolled out about a week ago. I did the training. It took about 15 minutes once I was able to reset my password and all the old muckety-muck, verifying your profile, etc., and finally getting into the modules. But the training itself took about 15 minutes. There's a little test at the end of it. And my takeaways from it were the out-of-pocket maximum is increasing from to $8,550 for individuals and $17,100 for families. There's some new plan options for dependents who are being added to a plan, and like an option to choose a level than their parents' plan. So adding a child to a plan, et cetera, an adoptee, et cetera. There's going to be some adjustments to the grace periods. And the one thing that I took away is they're using the 2020 FPL for 2021. So just rolling that over. FPL, of course, stands for Federal Poverty Level. And that's what this chart's all about. The health insurance marketplace is going to use these guidelines in making calculations for the APTC. In other words, the Advanced Premium Tax Credit, AKA the subsidy, and the income-based CSRs. Of course, CSRs apply for the silver plans, those low-cost silver plans. And this is for the coverage year 2021, starting November 1st, 2020. I put this on my wall, okay, when I'm talking to folks and trying to help them with their clients. And, you know, it's sort of like a, it just helps redirect the conversation. The income amounts, the threshold for an individual is, you know, down here, and this can change a little bit, but down here it's about 17,609, and the upper level of that for the 400% where they are not going to qualify for a subsidy is 51,040. That's for an individual household of one. And just look accordingly for the other scenarios. How to get your FFM certification. New and returning agent training is live, as I mentioned. Everybody will get a copy of this presentation, and you'll click here on this to, if it blows up for me, I hope so. But there you see the URL there, so you can click there to certify or recertify, and it's portal.cms.gov. So if you want to jot that down right now, portal.cms.gov. If you're not certified, you're going to click on the new user to begin the training. If you are recertifying, please enter your username and your password to complete the returning agent refresher course. Passwords need to be reset every 90 days. So in all likelihood, your password has expired. So you're going to have to go out there again and choose a new password. As we all know, they're very weird. You know, they're like symbols and uppercase, lowercase, numbers, the whole 9 yards. So you have to think of something unique. And once the training is complete, verify that it's in the system. You can click on this link as well and find it there. This has a direct link to the tracker. And by all means, if you have any issues with any of these, give me a call. I can walk you through it. I've already done it with several folks. In the next public service announcement is this: COVID-19 and the individual market. If you already have coverage through the marketplace, the rules in your marketplace health plan for treatment for the coronavirus disease 2019, also known as COVID-19, the emergency remain the same as other viral infections, but your health insurance company may have added benefits. And the second point is that all marketplace plans cover treatment for pre-existing medical conditions and can terminate due to a change in health status, including diagnosis or treatment for COVID-19. And this is directly from healthcare.gov. This is straight off their webpage. So keep that in mind. Your clients are covered like it's any other illness. And we will get through this. All right, and now to the main feature. Let's play ball. Today's batting lineup. We're around the horn. Hitting first and playing center field. How to survive the fourth quarter. I'll be presenting that. Batting second, we're going to give you a tech update by Eric. Third, I'm going to give you a quick hitter on social media. Batting cleanup, Eric's going to take care of health ministry. I'm in the 5 spot, talking about the thought of the day. And following that up in the 6th hole, let's do the ICHRA shuffle. I'll get to that in a little bit. Batting 7th is Telemed, taken over by Eric, and he'll follow up with getting giggy with that. He'll explain that. That's the 8th topic. And rounding things out in the batting order are questions. There's no 10th spot because we do not play at the DH in the National League. Just want to point that out. I don't like the DH. You can put your comments in the question box and I'll respond to those as well. So, getting to our first topic, how to survive the fourth quarter. And these are just some tips and nuggets and ideas that we've drawn up and kind of dealt with over the years. It's all about laying the groundwork, reaching out to your existing clients and scheduling the renewal appointment. I think that is the key. Okay, you got existing clients. You've already done the work for the past 9 months. Let's just set up the renewal appointment. That is the biggest hurdle. I think that's half the battle. You almost got a sale right then and there by setting up the renewal. And then I want to point out, as my earbud falls out of my ear, that various ways to address this are via email, social media, and the phone. Some folks use direct mail, which is great, but again, remember return on investment. That's pretty costly, but a lot of folks will send out little, 50-cent postcards, so that's also a good idea. The other aspect is use enrollment technology. So the new technology out there, the new CRM for enrollments have really streamlined the process, simplified things, and made it really easy. And these are a time saver. And I harp on this one all the time. Health Sherpa. Health Sherpa is going to allow you to download your book of business from other databases. And we'll get into Health Sherpa in a little bit. But Health Sherpa is the future for the ACA enrollment platform, the Obamacare enrollment platform. It's not going to be really helpful for the short-term world, but for anything to do with individual major medical, this is a great tool, and it allows you to pre-populate this whole process for renewing, and even your prospects. The other idea is to send quotes to your clients, okay? Particularly your renewing clients. Set the stage. You know what the renewal is? The renewal will come out generally in October, but at that point, you will know what the renewal is, and you can actively quote their new product starting November 1st. And generally a week before November 1st, you should be able to actively quote that. You can send those out. So, a week, 2 weeks ahead of time, your clients will have actual information that they can use. So, of course, open enrollment begins November 1st and December 15th for the ACA market. And nothing's really changed from last year. And that'll bear that out in the training that you do on the FFM. What I also want to point out, prospects, thousands of these are coming to us all the time. Basically do the same process with them. You've got their information, actively send quotes out end of October, early November, and get the ball rolling and set up an appointment. Okay? And finally, schedule the enrollment. Time management is essential. Try to schedule these appointments back to back. That's the key. So in many cases, clients have all day, and the inconvenient reality of the current stage is folks have a lot of time on their hands. They're not working as many hours as maybe they thought they would. So essentially, they have a lot of time on their hands. You want to streamline that process and manage their expectations. Just offhandedly mention that there's an appointment scheduled in the next 45 minutes, so we want to take care of your needs right now, if we can all possibly do that. And lastly, as always, ask for that referral. If you like what I'm doing, don't keep it a secret. That's an easy way to bring up that referral. Okay. Eric, let's talk about technology.
All righty, perfect. Thank you, Geoff, for having me on here today. So starting our topic for technology updates, once again, is the FFM. As Geoff mentioned, the training can be found at portal.cms.gov. That's where you can certify or get recertified. And then along with our enrollment tools, there's about half a dozen. To mention the two that we use is Health Sherpa and INSX Cloud. are the two main focuses we have using our enrollment tools. Carriers such as Anthem and MMO can be quoted directly from their websites. And along with that, we offer a free ACA enrollment platform, as Geoff mentioned, with HealthSherpa. Easiest way to get set up with that is go to the Cornerstone website and go to what we offer. And if you click on the HealthSherpa tab, it'll take you right there to get started and fill out the form, and that comes to me, and I'll get it done as soon as possible. And then your ancillary enrollments. Those products are mainly done right through the carrier. It's very easy and just something a little extra to add for your clients. But with that being said, we got social media next here with Geoff here in our 3 spots. So pass it back to you, Geoff.
All right. Social media. Social media is so vital this day and age. This is essentially free marketing. And by social media, of course, we mean Facebook, LinkedIn, even Instagram. I see agents using Instagram. And it's getting your name out there, and it's free, okay? Certainly you can put a little skin in the game. You can buy leads through Facebook. You can do the same with some of these other platforms. And we're seeing more and more brokers leverage this vital tool. There's so much associated with it, so much involvedness. I can't really do it justice in this quick presentation. But what I want you to do is click on this arrow button when you get your presentation, and this will pull up on your YouTube channel, okay? And this will give you the Build Your Brand Series training on social media. Jess Larkin, our Director of Marketing, does a fantastic job with this Build Your Brand Series held every Tuesday. And one of the cornerstones, and that pun is intended, one of the cornerstones of Cornerstone's Build Your Brand Series is social media. Check it out. She'll go through all of the facets of social media. And with that, let's toss it back to Eric.
All righty. Now we're here with the health ministry plans. So a big question we get is, what is a health ministry? Basically, it's just organizations which healthcare costs are shared among members who have a common ethical and religious belief. So it's pretty straightforward and simple from ICHRA. Your plans can be filtered out. They have 4 plans which they list as memberships, and they are Diamond, Emerald, Sapphire, and Ruby. Your Diamond will offer you a 2 million lifetime out of your maximum there, and then the other 3 they will offer 1 million for your lifetime max. ICHRA is very transparent with the way they work with their members, and anybody that calls there, they have a great member services there. Reasons why we use ICHRA, once again, is the member services. Their lifetime maximums with the 1 million and 2 million are very key. And one big aspect that we get from brokers for that is it's not a plan you have to keep reapplying for. You kind of can stay on until you hit those maxes, which are pretty high. And as long as you maintain it, everything should be run smooth. This coming up Thursday, they are running a training. If you want to learn any more information after the presentation, when we send our email out, we will attach that on there just so everybody can see that. And next, we got our thought of the day with Geoff Beglen again.
Today's thought of the day, business triage. Business triage involves categorizing desired outcomes and goals and the processes that support them based on the relative importance to achieving a stated measurable goal or outcome. Business triage. Take that into consideration, everybody. So what we want you to do is prioritize. In a nutshell, think about what's important, what's your best return on investment, and what isn't. So this diagram, again, Geoff did a fantastic job with this. This is something you can put on your wall and think about what's important, what's not important. These urgent items, this is the stuff that will kill you, okay? This is the stuff that really needs to be taken as a priority, but you want to limit the amount of time you spend on them as much as possible. But keep these in mind. I want to point out that not everything here needs to be scuttled or just disregarded. The stuff that's not important, well, you know what? Popular activities, not essential, but you know what? They're important. Things like reading, things like studying, things like listening to music. These things sharpen the saw, as Stephen Covey says. These things help you in the background. These things rewire your right brain to be more creative. So all this, consider this as important stuff to consider throughout. But again, prioritize, think about the return on investment of your time. That's your thought of the day, business triage. And with that, I want to talk about ICHRA. I call it the ICHRA Shuffle. And you guys have been around since 1988. You remember the Icky Shuffle. So that's where I got the ICHRA Shuffle. ICHRA is the new flavor of the month. ICHRA has been highly promoted by the federal government, not only HHS, but CMS, the FFM. It's on the training that we do for the recertification. What it means is the health reimbursement. It's an individual contribution health reimbursement arrangement that isn't traditional coverage through a job. So this all comes straight from healthcare.gov. So how it works, your employer contributes a certain amount to the ICHRA, the individual contribution ICHRA. You'll use the money to pay for qualifying medical expenses. And for some types of HRAs, you can also use this money to pay for monthly premiums for a health plan to buy yourself. You must have health coverage in order to use the ICHRA. For certain types of HRAs and possibly other household members, you must be enrolled in a health plan like the one you bought on the marketplace to use the ICHRA money. It's important to understand your options before you act. And you could pay for more coverage, use more tax credits than you qualify, or face penalties unless you understand the options. Again, this 5-minute infomercial doesn't do the whole topic justice. We've already done trainings on this. You can access this through our website in the resource page until it'll tell you more about ICHRA. What's more, I've got other resources you can delve into. The one quick hitter, the one takeaway about ICHRA is HHS anticipates that in the next decade, 800,000 employers will start using ICHRA. What's more, 11 million members will start using these ICHRAs. And we're not talking about, you know, losing groups and stuff like that. We're talking essentially about startups, staffing agencies, mom and pops, a lot of the small companies that can't meet participation requirements for small group. So these are the outliers. These are the folks who are generally not in the group market right now. So we don't see this as a threat to the group market. This is an opportunity. And it's funny, we're talking about the gig economy. Eric will get into that in a little bit, but let's first of all toss it to him and he'll talk about telemed. Eric, what do you got?
All righty. Thank you, Geoff. Another main question here with telemedicine is, what is it essentially? Telemedicine, or it can be referred as telehealth, refers to using information technologies and electronic communications for clinical services to your patients. In other words, it can be used as, it's like a FaceTime with your doctor, essentially, kind of go over your health status, just another way to stay safe during this pandemic and not having to go into the doctor's office. You can just call right there through the app that the carriers offer. But telemedicine is offered by all of our ACA carriers, whether it's some are listed different as telemedicine or telehealth, as I mentioned in the beginning, and then how to access it. It can be used through your smartphone device or a tablet. It could be accessed truly anywhere you have an internet connection, or you could go directly through the carrier site, and then they'll inform you which ways to go from there. But that about wraps it up for telemed. Next, we're going to get giddy with it with the gig economy. This is a new topic that me and Geoff have done our research and kind of learning about this each day. But essentially, it's a free market system in which temporary positions are common and organizations hire independent workers for short-term commitments. So it's great for workers. It provides you with a flexible schedule. You have a greater independence with that, and there are a variety of jobs for your everyday worker. The pros for the business, or it lowers the cost of hiring a full-time employee. If you just need somebody for a couple months here, the gig economy is a great place to look for somebody. So something that has the ability to scale quickly. There's multiple databases you can use to find workers for you, along with a diverse pool. A lot of people are flexible with that. But where me and Geoff are seeing that the gig economy could be great for getting someone health insurance. They're great prospects, essentially. They range from your Uber driver, Lyft driver, consultants, freelance programmers, or even your handyman, someone that you could find and be a great prospect for you if you need some more individual clients there. But that wraps it up with the gig economy. If you have any questions on that, just give me or Geoff a buzz, and that'll be something we could explain more for you. Geoff, we got any questions there?
Fantastic. We do have questions. And throughout the presentation, give me your thoughts and tell us how we did, or enter some questions or insights that you might have. The first question is, it has to do with ICHRA. Does a health sharing Christian ministry program qualify for a QSRA or an ICHRA reimbursement in medical expenses? Anecdotally, yes, I have learned that there are some religious organizations, some churches that have entered into an ICHRA for coverage on a health ministry style plan. I can tell you more about that. And so that's another facet of the ICHRA opportunity. These are another target audience for the ICHRA, or religious organizations. And next, another topic on ICHRA. She mentions that ICHRAs are not an option for S Corps LLCs, as I understand. I believe so. That's right. So when we're talking about, we're talking even smaller than that in some cases. We're talking about sole proprietorships. And I will follow up with you on more detail about that. Again, the devil's in the details. There are some moving parts to this. I can't consider myself an expert on this. It's entirely involving tax code and stuff like that. But we do have the resources to get your answers on that. But as I understand it, it is not something for some of these entities. And I will certainly follow up with you on that, with those resources. I do want to point out that the carriers do have, the ACA carriers are preparing their 2021 offerings, and as usual, are keeping their cards close to the vest. I don't anticipate them having anything out as far as plan designs until late September. I don't anticipate the rates to appear until maybe first, second, or third week of October. But this I do know. Anthem is going to be back in the Ohio market in a big way. They're going to be in all but, I believe, 6 to 8 counties. They're going to be in all the metro areas, including Montgomery County. You heard it first. And what's more, Ambetter is going to be looking at some major territorial expansion. They'll be in most of the metro areas as well. Molina, as always, very strong in the metro areas. They'll be adding some counties. And Oscar, who is a real power in Northeast Ohio, they'll be adding a couple counties up in the Cleveland area and a couple also in their Columbus market. So we're looking forward to the information that they provide. That'll be coming out in about 4 or 5 weeks as far as their market footprints and the plan designs. I'll have more for that. What's more, we're going to be doing some training with each and every one of those carriers, plus 3 short-term carriers. Anthem, for their part, is going to be making a big push into the short-term market. Short-term is something we didn't really touch on today, but it is a powerhouse when it comes to health insurance. And by all means, if you have any questions about that as an alternative plan to the ACA, let me know. And take a few minutes to see if anybody else has any more questions. And with that, I'll toss to Eric for any final thoughts. Eric?
Well, I think it went smoothly. Just get your questions in there, everybody. If you can't think of anything right now, me and Geoff will be available all day to answer anything and pretty much all week. So,
okay. And with that, as Joe Knoxall had said, we're rounding third and heading for home. Have a great day, everybody.